Welcome to ETH Daily, a daily briefing on the latest in Ethereum. Here's your latest for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. The Ethereum Foundation releases a resource hub for post-quantum Ethereum. Viro launches a Liquidity v2 fork on Unichain, and Aave Labs outlines the Aave v4 reinvestment module. All this and more starts right after this message. Earn 10% real yield on your dollars without counterparty risk. Hold BOLD, the only decentralized stablecoin that has been rated A- by stablecoin agency Bluechip. Learn more at liquidity.org/earn. The Ethereum Foundation's post-quantum and cryptography teams have launched pq.ethereum.org, a central hub for tracking Ethereum's post-quantum security efforts. The site brings together key resources including the full post-quantum roadmap, repositories, specifications, research papers, EAPs, FAQs, and a Lean Ethereum podcast series. The Post-Quantum Ethereum initiative aims to prepare Ethereum for future quantum computing threats that could compromise current cryptographic systems. It involves a coordinated multi-year transition across all layers of the protocol, including execution, consensus, and data, guided by a phased roadmap of post-quantum upgrades. Viro launched its CDP-based non-custodial borrowing protocol on Unichain, which is a friendly fork of Liquidity v2. The protocol allows users to borrow VYUSD against ETH wrapped STETH and Uni collateral. Like Liquidity v2, Viro features user-set interest rates, over-collateralized loans, and flexible liquidation and redemption mechanisms. Users can also earn yield on VYUSD by depositing it into the stability pool. Borrowing requires a minimum debt of 200 VYUSD per trove. Borrowed VYUSD can also be looped to purchase additional collateral for leverage. Viro tokens are used for the protocol's governance but are not required to borrow VYUSD. Viro uses price feeds secured by Chainlink SVR. Liquidity is a current ETH daily sponsor. And lastly, Aave Labs outlined its reinvestment module in Aave v4, a new feature aiming to improve capital efficiency by deploying idle liquidity into low-risk yield strategies. The feature addresses idle deposits used to support withdrawals and borrowing demand. Aave v4 uses a hub-and-spoke architecture where a central liquidity hub supplies capital to multiple lending markets, called spokes. Within the system, the reinvestment module automatically allocates excess liquidity into governance-approved strategies and dynamically rebalances funds as borrowing demand changes. Configured on a per-asset basis, the module aims to increase deposit yields for lenders without imposing lockups or restricting withdrawals. In other news, Polygon Proof of Stake increases its gas limit to 120 milligas per second, Lido releases its 2025 annual report, and Silo Finance v3 goes live. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories in Ethereum. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethddaily.io.